everyone. I'm Rob Thomas with Club and Resort Business. Welcome to another episode of Club and Resort Talks. Today's episode is sponsored by Crestcore. When your club is on a roll, make sure you check out Crestcore's hot cabinets, ovens, utility cabinets, racks, dollies, and a host of other quality products. A family-owned company, Crestcore has been a moving force in the food service industry since 1936 and is centrally headquartered near Cleveland, Ohio. With more than 275,000 square feet of state-of-the-art manufacturing and distribution facilities, Crestcore has made a commitment to unsurpassed reliability and superb customer service. Learn more at Crestcore.com. We got Crestcore taken care of. Let's throw you over to Phil Keren. Phil, how's it going? I'm
doing well, Rob. How are you?
Terrific. Hey, you're coming up on 2 years. Surprise, we got a 2-year anniversary. Phil Keren with Club and Resort Business. What has been your some of your highlights?
Oh, some highlights. Well, let's see. Over the last couple of years, I think one thing that'll stand out for me always was my first club trip. I went to Omaha, Nebraska, and actually visited 2 clubs there: Champions Run and Field Club of Omaha. Great hospitality from both groups there. Really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Even had a chance to play Champions course. Got to see the creative things that Champions Run was doing there. Field Club had a great visit there with Greg Gill, the general manager, who actually, Rob, I should mention, I ran into when we were at CMA conference last month in Las Vegas. I ran into him. We had a nice chat for a few minutes. He mentioned their banquet center was going to be done here soon, and he'd let us know about that. And then this, that would be a highlight, our trip to Las Vegas for the Club Managers Association of America conference. I had a great chance to meet with a lot of companies from around the country that work with clubs, and we got to take a lot of videos and let people share what they're doing there. The other highlight, one last highlight I would mention, is my trip which was a nearby trip because it's not far from me. Went to Firestone Country Club in Akron, Ohio last year. Got to get a behind-the-scenes tour as they were preparing for the Colleague Companies Championship, which is now which is on the Champions Tour, one of the major tournaments on the senior tour there. And it was great to visit with Jay Walkinshaw there to find out what was happening with it. And that's a memorable one for me too, because my youngest son, Ryan, came with me and served as my videographer that day. So a lot of good stuff.
Terrific. You've been doing a great job with videos, so congratulations to Ryan too. And your big shots, I know you had recorded a video while you're at Big Shots as well. Yes. In your first 2 years, and that did very, very well on YouTube. So I encourage anybody to either find it on our website or go to our YouTube channel and watch Phil at Big Shots.
Yes, absolutely. It's a lot of fun there at Big Shots. A lot of kind of a smaller version of Top Golf, but has all the same benefits, if you will.
Yeah, hit some golfertainment, right? Hit some golf balls. Mm-hmm. Grab a burger, maybe a sip on a cocktail, whatever you're up to that particular day. Big Shots, Top Golf, was a Pop Stroke down as a putting, Tiger Woods' putting thing down in Orlando and several other places now. But yeah, it's great. It's getting big and bigger. And you and I have to get to Pop Stroke next time we're in Orlando and record some videos. So I think that'd be some good content of us missing some easy 5-footers at Pop Stroke while having a beer in one hand.
Right. The beer in one hand will be our excuse as to why we missed those 5-footers, right?
Yeah, certainly. That's a good excuse. So, hey, speaking of excuses, we have an excuse to record a podcast, and we're going to concentrate heavily on the news. What are you seeing in the news this week that we have on clubandresortbusiness.com?
Well, it was a fun week, I thought. We had a lot of interesting, unique stories to share, I thought this would seem like. One I should start with, as well, those of us who live in Northeast Ohio, and if you live in the path of totality of the total solar eclipse that's coming up, there are clubs around the country who are in that path of totality who are hosting events for that coming up here on Monday, April 8th. So briefly, just to mention, Arrowhead Golf Club, actually here in Minster, Ohio, they're having live entertainment, actually both on April 7th and 8th. Food trucks on site, some beverages, eclipse classes, of course, that will be handed out at any of these events. Heritage Ranch Golf and Country Club, McKinney, Texas. They're also having a party on their back patio and outdoor pool area. I like this one a lot because they're having fun with the names of the foods they're going to serve in their buffet for the Eclipse Day. Crescent Moon Sandwiches, Rob. How about that? Galactic Fresh Fruit, Cosmic Pasta Salad, Solar Sun Chips, and Lunar Pies. Also music from a DJ. One last one to mention real quick, Byrncliff Golf Resorts and Banquets in Varysburg, New York. They're also having a viewing party that day, and they're really pulling out all the stops, music, food, beverages. Of course, you can play golf, miniature golf, yoga, apparently, and a scavenger hunt. So a lot of good stuff going on with that.
Well, I wonder if lunar pies are like moon pies. Moon pies, that chocolate covered marshmallow with some graham cracker on the bottom. I think they're made popular in Nashville, maybe, but maybe they're just taking the moon pies and rebranding them for this particular purpose as lunar pies. But I'm sure it's gonna be delicious. If a club chef is involved, it's gonna be off the charts, over the top.
Yeah, either way, fun. Whether these are actually new recipes or if they're just familiar foods and they're just giving us, a fun name in honor of the solar eclipse. Either way, it'll work out great for them, I'm sure.
Well, thank you for posting that article on the website. I stole it and posted it on my TikTok channel, C+RB_Rob. So if you happen to be looking for TikTok and want to kill 43 seconds or whatever that particular one was, look me up on TikTok. I just usually share a couple of news stories, kind of like what Phil and I are doing here, but with some music behind and maybe some pop-ups every once in a while. It's really amateur hour, or amateur minute, but look for it. C+RB_Rob. What's next?
Very good. And actually, I'm sorry, before I move on, I should mention to folks, especially any club leaders, if you're hosting, which I tried to find out about events that were happening around the country at clubs for the eclipse. At this point, of course, if you have an event and you get some great photos from your event at your club, feel free to email them to me at pkeren@wtwhmedia.com. That's PKEREN at wtwhmedia.com. So, and of course, next upcoming here, we'll try to share as many of those as we can at clubandresortbusiness.com.
Beautiful. So, you have some videos. Maybe we can share them on our YouTube channel.
Absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that. Short videos would be fantastic as well. Keep our fingers crossed for a clear day so people can enjoy the historic event, if you will.
Yeah, I really wish. I mean, selfishly, I'm glad that we're having it here in Cleveland, Ohio, the Path of Totality. But I really, really wish that Path of Totality was going through Omaha, Nebraska. I would love to see what Ben Lorenzen and his staff would do with an event like the Total Eclipse. I'm sure they would blow it out of the water. It'd be fantastic. But hey, I'm happy that we're in Path of Totality.
Absolutely. And actually, that called to mind something too. You mentioned Ben Lorenzen at Champions, but it did occur to me too when I was looking at these stories that, clubs themselves, with having a golf course, sometimes you have a body of water nearby, nice patios. They seem like they're good. They seem like strong, maybe even ideal locations to host a eclipse party. So it seems appropriate that a lot of places are going to do that here. So looking ahead, or looking at other stories that are also on the theme of things that were fun and unique. We've talked a lot about some exciting trends, new trends in golf. One being short courses, another night golf. And we actually had a story that posted this week that combined both of those elements. We had, it was Auction Southern Dunes Golf Club in Maricopa, Arizona. They have a 6-hole short course that actually opened for play 10 years ago. Holes that range from 60 to 115 yards, just short par 3 holes. They're going to open for night play starting April 26th. And their general manager, Brady Wilson, said, "We're excited to take this next step. We feel we're expanding both our grow the game efforts along with our fun factor by creating something awesome to do when the sun sets in Arizona, making a year-round form of entertainment." So exciting to see that happening there. An interesting side note about that, as I understand it, that's it's using the club's existing practice range, or I'm sorry, when the course was built, the 6-hole course built there used the club's existing practice range. And as I understand it from reading the story, the range actually is still used in the mornings, that sort of traditional driving range. But then when the afternoon, evening come along, it opens up as a course to play under the lights, if you will. So an exciting one out there in Arizona.
You know, we hear a ton about Arizona golf. Obviously, it's huge. And TPC Scottsdale steals the headlines every year for the WM. Greyhawk is supposed to be one of the nicest golf courses down there. I think that's in the Scottsdale area. But Auction Southern Dunes is time and time again top of mind when it comes to fun stuff. So I think that'd be a fantastic visit at some point down the road. I'd love to see what they're doing down there, and you know, kudos to them for a little night golf. Arizona seems to be a burgeoning night golf destination, right? We have grass clippings at
Yes.
Rolling Hills that we've had them a couple times on the podcast. We've had them all over the website. So if you want to read about grass clippings, just, you know, search in our search bar, grass clippings. But we know it's beastly hot down there, right? During the day, you turn the lights on at night, and when it's cooling down to like 95, at least it's, you know, you're not going to die out there.
Exactly.
Good for them.
Absolutely. And it's funny you mentioned grass clippings. I was going to mention that, yes, reading that story this week reminded me of grass clippings project. And we've had, yes, Pete Wilson, the co-founder of Grass Clippings, has been on the program twice. I think he's, well, at least for me, he's my only 2-time guest so far on Club Resort Talk. So he's got that distinction. Yeah, it's interesting with the night golf thing. I was thinking back to the country club I grew up at. I think it seems like every summer they usually had some type of an adult night golf event where the adults could go and play with a glow in the dark golf ball. But that's what it was. It was just kind of a fun one-off event each year kind of thing. I remember my parents doing this a few times. They had fun with it. Nobody was ever really talking about the idea that you could have night golf on a regular basis or as a regular part of golfing. But I think for places, and you already mentioned that, Rob, I mean, for a place like Arizona or anywhere else where you have extremely hot weather on a consistent basis like that, I think it's a fantastic idea. And it's one of those where it almost makes too much sense. You know what I mean? I mean, it seems like, well, yeah, they should have. Fantastic idea. And I wish Grass Clippings and the folks in Maricopa the best of luck with that, with both of their endeavors with that.
Yeah, May through September, anywhere from noon to, you know, 6, 7 o'clock, golf courses are getting kind of barren at certain areas down in, you know, when it's 110 plus down there, you don't get a lot of tee times in the middle of the day. But if you can make up for a few of those at night and host a fun event, have people talking, you know, it's a nice recipe.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at another project, we saw this week, the club at Ibis in West Palm Beach, Florida, is collaborating with Peacock and Lewis architects and planners to develop a comprehensive amenities master plan. So that's going to include, you know, they're going to enhance fitness, racket facilities, wellness programs, aquatic activities, food and beverage options, everything like that. Looks like it's going to be a great project there as well. And Club at Ibis, I know I recall we featured them in our ideas issue last year. That was the one, though, they were working with both the L's for Autism Foundation and Best Buddies International to support training and work placement of people both with autism spectrum disorder and people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So nice program there. And it looks like that's going to be a great project down there in Florida to enhance their operation.
Yeah, for some reason, Club at Ibis popped in my dreams the other night. Probably, you know, reading that article on our website. But Martin Hall from Golf Channel fame, School of Golf, he's an instructor down there. I think that's where they record most of their videos. So that club is it's hot, it's beautiful, and looking forward to seeing what this next iteration brings.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be very interesting. Another one in Florida, Vineyards Country Club in Florida. We learned this week they're now working on a renovation of their north course. They recently finished the renovations to the south course back in December of last year. Now they're working on the north course. And in this case, talking about other trends, I noticed they have their project includes some trends we've talked about before with renovation projects at golf courses that we're seeing on a pretty regular basis. They're going to enlarge the greens so you can have more pin locations, also recontouring fairways to improve playability. That seems like a buzzword there too, or buzz phrase. So some projects, that one also looks like it should be a good one. Interesting to notice though too, they were going to expand. I think this also goes along with trends we see these days with golf, with people seemingly, especially younger people, seemingly hitting longer than they ever have before. They're expanding the course's yardage from the professional tees so they can make it a championship level layout. So that project, I think, they're working with architect Kip Schultes, and that's supposed to be finished this coming December.
Yeah, well, it's good in time for the next golf season. Over the summertime, obviously their golf season is a little slower. When we're picking up here in the Northeast, they're slowing down there, so it's good to get on there. And Kip Schultes is a well-known, qualified designer, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he does and what his vision is for Vineyards Country Club. It's a great time to be in the country club business. People still want to belong. Tee times at public courses are still crazy packed. I just saw today an update to the LA country or the Los Angeles area golf courses that there's been some kind of pirating going on of their tee time system, and people are price gouging. They have something going on now where they've now charging like $10 for every tee time to book it. And then if it's a $35 round, you put that $10 down. Then when you get to the golf course, you're only paying $25. So it's still a $35 round. But now these I don't want to call them hackers, but these people who are stealing all the tee times will have to put $10 down for each tee time, and they're not going to recoup that because they're not going to be the ones going to the golf course and putting down their 25, 30, $45 or whatever. So hopefully it works. I'm sure these people who are sneaky will find a back way around that particular system. Always do. They always have to, kind of adjust on the fly, but good. We're in a healthy industry right now. So
We are, for sure.
Fingers are crossed that it continues to be healthy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that story in Los Angeles was interesting. I do remember seeing that and was not even aware that type of thing was even going on as far as tee times and everything. So that was an interesting story to read, and it'll be interesting to see how that all sorts out.
Yeah, apparently it's a Korean website where the guy was saying he was just doing it for his Korean constituents, his buddies, who trying to give them a break. But then
Right.
guys like you and I we got privy to that, and we started sending it, and it just kind of spiraled. And I'm sure the guy that was making it, whoever started that website, was making money hand over fist comparatively. And it was no longer just for his Korean buddies, his cohorts. It was for everybody. And he was taking advantage of it. So, shame on him. But also, hey, it's capitalism, right? I mean, he did what he had to do, and he benefited. But now let's hope that the rest of us don't have to, aren't paying the premium just to get a tee time.
Right. Yeah, that'll be an issue with that for sure. One other story I saw, actually on sort of a different subject with it, but again, another interesting story. We saw that the Department of, and this will be something I think that's affecting club general managers and decisions they're making with their budgets. Department of Labor, I guess, is looking at it. I don't think they've actually done this yet. They're looking to increase the exempt salary threshold for white collar exemptions, potentially raising it from about $35,000 to $55,000 annually. So as I understand it, obviously, exempt employee, I know most of our audience probably already knows this, but I kind of did this for my own edification. Exempt employee is a worker who does not receive overtime pay or qualify for minimum wage, paid with a salary rather than hourly. So the change, we had the story this week that the Department of Labor is looking at making the change with the rule. And I thought the story we had this week was very interesting, kind of gave a multi-point plan for club leaders on what they should look at as far as, or what they should do if the new labor rule is implemented. A couple of things that were things that, yes, I realized they would definitely have to do, look at pay practices, prepare for compliance, make sure they understand everything that's happening and how it's going to affect their budget and payroll practices, work through decisions about, looking at which employees fall in the salary range that could be affected and deciding whether you're going to increase the salaries to meet the threshold for exempt or convert them to a non-exempt. Make sure you're understanding state laws on overtime and all this, because they can be different from federal regulations. But the one I thought that was really interesting was the idea of considering the impact on employee morale if you were converting somebody from, I guess, exempt to a non-exempt. It could have some negative implications, because I know I don't know about other countries, but at least in American workforce, I think to work as a salaried employee versus a hourly wage employee, even if you make about the same amount of money, the salary one is, I think, perceived as being somehow more prestigious, if you will. And so I thought it was an interesting tip they gave to club managers to consider that effect on morale. In fact, I was interested enough to know in that I would, again, encourage club managers, if you'd like to share some thoughts with me on that one as well. Again, pkeren at wtwhmedia.com. Even also, if there were other issues that were not brought up in the story that we had at clubandresortbusiness.com. So I just thought it was an interesting issue, Rob, as far as what if, in fact, that rule gets implemented. It could, of course, impact a lot of decisions and a lot of budgeting for club general managers.
Well, I did not do the Thursday 3 this particular week. I just flaked. I totally forgot about it. By the time I realized that it was too late, everybody had turned the computers off for the day. But had I done the Thursday 3, that particular overtime story would have been the most read article on Club and Resort Business this week. Crazy numbers so crazy. It looks almost like bots got a hold of us. Maybe they did. Maybe because of the headline. That was a popular thing. So, I mean, we're talking about tens of thousands of views on one day. So, yes, bots probably got a hold of it. But, yes, it's also a very timely and very important article. I did get one note from a friend of mine in California. He had said, we're concerned right now about the minimum wage. They can't, well, I'm sure people are keeping an eye on this overtime possibility, but California's minimum wage is going through the roof right now. So they're going to deal with that before they start dealing with something that's potentially going to happen. So it seems to me California, Florida, certainly Hawaii, they have different markets. So we could put a Club and Resort Business /Florida /California /Hawaii and come have enough news to fill an issue. Of course, California has to deal with a lot right now. Regulations, agronomy, they have a lot of stuff that you can put on the ground in 49 other states you can't use in California. So things have to be labeled specifically for California use. It's crazy, but that's just another example of it.
Which, by the way, on a lighter note with all this, I would love to work for our Hawaii Bureau if we ever have that Club and Resort Business, the Hawaii Bureau, right?
Well, you'll be an empty nester here in another couple of months, so maybe we'll ship you out to Hawaii for a couple of years.
My wife would love that for sure, so we could try for that.
Get you a place on the beach. I'm sure your salary can cover it.
Yes,
Waikiki,
absolutely.
the Waikiki Bureau.
Yeah, there you go.
So, Phil, we're running out of time for our little segment here, but I know you'd want to talk a little bit about model clubs, not only what we've seen, but what we got going the rest of the year. It's only April, so we have a lot more left in the model club initiative.
Right. That's right, Rob. And yeah, we just to catch everybody up, if they hadn't heard about it, this year we did have a new program started with looking at model clubs. And at Club and Resort Business here, we selected 3 honorees in each of 5 categories. So we had membership and marketing, clubhouses, patios, rackets, and pro shops. So we have so far, let's see, we introduced it in February, the February print issue. April issue, which we recently finished, featured our pro shop honorees. And I saw the digital version. Actually, the issue is up now on clubandresortbusiness.com. And print issue should be on the way as well. Now, every other month after that, we're going to have a story looking at the honorees in the other categories. So we just finished again April, but June, we'll look at the honorees in the patios category. August, we'll have rackets in the spotlight. October, we're looking at the top clubs with membership and marketing. And then we're going to finish out the year with clubhouses in the December edition. In addition to the print issues that are highlighting a particular category, we're also going to have an accompanying webinar involving that category, hopefully from clubs that have been honored in that particular category. So we'll still have, I can just briefly mention June 11th, it will be a webinar entitled Create a Patio That Generates Buzz. August 13th, how to up your club's racket sports game. And then in December, best of the best clubhouses. Also should mention, I know I jumped over October. That's because we'll have the, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Rob. I'm doing it off the top of my head, but I believe it's 4, correct? 4 webinars on membership and marketing in October that people can look forward to, which is something we've been doing in the past. It's just this year it happens to kind of coincide well with the Model Clubs program that we've started this year.
Yeah, the Model Clubs is it's a fascinating look into who's doing what and what other clubs can take from that. It replaces our Top Ranked, which had a nice run, but we thought Top Ranked focuses on the broad picture. We wanted to get a little more honed in. So Model Clubs, looking at the best of the best, and that changes every year. The best membership and marketing team, those 5 will probably be the best. But what are other clubs doing to catch up? And what have they done to, get, if they were number 10, what are they now going to be up to number 6? I don't know. But I mean, that's just hypothetical because we're not putting numbers on these things. But what clubs are doing from year to year to year to enhance their experience for the members and their guests. And Model Clubs I'm excited about it. This is just year 1. It's going to grow. It's going to expand. I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds.
Absolutely. It's exciting. And I'm glad that we're doing the webinars in conjunction with the issues as well. I think it's a nice packaging of different media there that I think will work very well.
Yeah, possibly a few podcasts. We'll have articles on the website and in the issue. So we're going to come at it from all different directions, and it's going to be a nice project for us this year.
Yeah, it's exciting, and that'll certainly be a highlight here of 2024.
All right, as I mentioned before, we do not have a guest, but I don't want to leave you empty-handed. So what we're going to do here is, if you stick around past the little we're going to put a few of the videos from our friends at CMAA, if you didn't happen to make it, or maybe you did, but you missed this particular booth. Just a handful of them. We've got a lot of them, so we're going to roll them out over the course of the next few weeks. But I know Phil took some videos, I took some videos, and we were out and about. So enjoy that, Phil. Have a great weekend and enjoy the solar eclipse.
I will. You too, Rob. Enjoy.
All right.
All right, so I'm Trevor Coughlin. I'm General Manager of the Clubhouse Online Division with Jonas Club Software. In Clubhouse Online, we really focus on websites and mobile apps for members. Really, some of the big things that we're focusing on this year is service enhancement for members through all of our mobile products. So that includes our member mobile app. It's got a real premium feel. We're enhancing it with lots of new features like geolocation, allowing your back shop to automatically pull a member's bags when they arrive on site without them ever having to say anything. And then we're coupling that with a new management app as well. So the management app will actually allow your staff at your club to quickly and easily look up information on their mobile device while they're on the move around the club, find information about individual members, make reservations on behalf of members, even allows your pro shop to scan inventory with their actual mobile device and get it right into their system. So there's a lot of new enhancements, and we're really focusing a lot of these efforts around real membership enhancement.
Hi, my name's Greer. I'm here with Relay. This is the modern walkie-talkie, as opposed to those big and bulky radios. We're here at the CMAA, excited to chat with everybody about why Relay might be a better fit than those walkie-talkies you're using.
Tyler Vandermeulen with Capstone Hospitality. We're here looking for the next partners to maximize their membership sales. We offer private club solutions from on-site sales to marketing to lead generation to even things like training and software CRM systems. So we've got something for every private club out there, and look forward to connecting with you soon.